Hello friends, welcome back. This is Julie Norman and I'm back with another planning video. I'm going to talk about the Traveler's Notebook today. And in a previous video where I was choosing what purse to put my planner in, I showed this. And I didn't explain why it wasn't the Silk and Sonder I was carrying. So I would like to take a little time to tell you about why I love Traveler's Notebook and how I still use the Silk and Sonder at the same time. So last fall I had really spending too much time on my phone, and so I wanted to find a way to be more analog. Besides social media and email, what else did I use my phone for? The calendar, time, what time is it, that kind of thing. That's what I kept checking my phone for at home. So I thought, well, let's see if I could go back to a paper planner. It's been a few years, and I remember I really loved, just writing things out, just the ease of just flipping something open and there it is, instead of having to go to the phone, click on the app or whatever, and then wait for it to load. So this actually can be quicker if you are ready to go. So while I was looking for something, I know that for myself, that one of those yearly calendar books where you have, your whole calendar and it's a big book, maybe has a spiral binding to it. That isn't for me because I don't like carrying around a whole year's worth at a time. I really don't need to carry around 12 months worth, especially when you get towards the end of the year, you're still carrying your past around. And that is psychologically, do you really want to carry your past with you? So I decided that that's not for me. And I also thought I used to have what are these, ring bound. And so the thing about that I like the versatility where you can change the pages around. You can only, if you only want to put like 3 or 4 months in it, you can, and plus other stuff. But just the act of writing about it, and that when you're writing and the papers are separated by, an inch or two here, that it just didn't flow. So I knew I didn't really want a ring bound either. So I thought, well, the bullet journals, those are kind of popular right now. So I thought, well, let's do a modified bullet journal. Here, for example, is my current journal. And I thought, well, let's do this. So I did a bunch of research, and oh my gosh, if you have looked at bullet journaling, there are so many ideas and stuff. So I thought, well, this could probably work. Because what I used to do in the past was kind of like a bullet journal. I didn't even know, like 10, 15 years ago, I didn't know that was going to be the term. Anyways, so I thought, okay, but I don't, I want to have a calendar, and then I want to have a journal. So what if I could find a K cover that I could tuck both in, maybe just put them in the side pockets there. And so I did a lot of research, and ta-da, I found the Traveler's Notebook. So that it's like they read my mind, and it was exactly what I was looking for. So that is how I discovered the Traveler's Notebook. And like I've said in my previous video, which I will link in the card above here, that I found Planner Perfect. I love her journals, and I do have a code for you to get a discount on your first one as well. So, but I've tried different types of Traveler's Notebooks, and it doesn't really matter what kind you have as long as you're happy with them. So what is a Traveler's Notebook? So basically it is a cover. The Traveler's Notebook is actually the cover. So I will take these out. This is what I have been carrying around. And they can be made of all different fabrics. A lot of them are leather, and some of them are fabric. This one is kind of like a plastic. I actually got this one at Hobby Lobby on clearance. And what it has are these strings. So when you hear the term rings or strings, the rings are the ring bound. This is the strings, although technically they're elastic. And sometimes they have pockets like that in here, and they usually have a closure. And I like that this one has a little loop. So what you do is, here's my calendar, and I like to have my calendar in the front. I slip that in. I have 4 elastics, and you can fit more than 4 in here, but that is another story. And here's my current journal. Put that in, and you want to open it up to the stitching. I saw somebody who, put it in like, on the side, and then it's just stronger, and it's more balanced in the middle. This is my just scratch note pad, and you can see I pull those out, my grocery list and my notes and my to-do list. And then I tuck a little mileage log, because I have a little business that I can track miles on, and I just tuck that in the back. I don't put it in elastics because I kind of like the slim profile of this one. If I can get it back in like that. And when I put it together like that, it's not backed up, to all the other ones. So it's a little less bulky. See how it squishes to carry it around. Just tucking that in like that. So that is how it looks in the top overview, and it's pretty slim. And comparatively to if I had everything in this ring bound, even if I had half the pages in here, it would still be the same size rings that I'd be carrying around. And the rigidness of that is not what I enjoy carrying around. It's fine for other people, but this is just what I prefer. So in a nutshell, that is the Traveler's Notebook. And on a side note, so how do I still enjoy my Silk and Sonder? Is because the Silk and Sonder people have actually said that they are they're an and journal is what they call it. So this is mine. I've done a little bit of embellishing on it. I'm actually transforming this into my YouTube content planner, and I can go over that one in a different video. But this one, it's a self-care thing. So it's made, with all these things, it's made to be more reflective, and it's not to be a permanent one because it only has like the month calendar and then 4 months looking ahead. So it's not something that for a calendar you're going to need to have something in addition, unless you also keep a calendar on your phone or something else. So it's a supplemental planner is what they consider it, and they've called it that. So it's just for the month to take the fresh new feel, and you can take and make it your own. And I will do another video on this because there are some people who say they get a little overwhelmed on how to work with this. But don't be overwhelmed. You are in control. The journal is what you make out of it. So that is how I can do both. The Silk and Sonder stays at home. This one I have on my desk, and I take it with me when I go places. So with the Planet Perfect method, I do take what I like about it and discard what doesn't work for me, which is what you should do with any kind of planner. So how I do my planning in my Traveler's Notebook is I have my calendar overview, and okay, there was a few months where I did try to make the Silk and Sonder my only planner, and I had another disc-bound calendar I made up. So before I open this is a Franken Planner calendar because I just used whatever I had just to make sure I wanted to go back fully into my Traveler's Notebook. And you can see this is actually the Silk and Sonder July calendar. I pasted in here. And for August, this is from other pages. So this is why it's such a Franken planner, is because when I get to November, this is actually an Erin Condren page, because for some reason that's the only November I could find. So it is kind of funny the way I did it, but so anyways. So I have in here the calendars, July, and I have through November I was able to fit. And after the calendar, I put out I have a week spread. So this is next week. And then I do a full week, so here's August 1st, because otherwise I noticed that I would forget about the next day and I would have things that didn't flow. And then I have August, and then I have the week spreads, all of the week spreads, until September, and so on. And another thing I do is these calendars are just for my personal reference, and this is not a keepsake thing to me, so that's why I wasn't so concerned about making it pretty. You can see here I've already, when I'm done with a page, I tear it out or cut it out, and so it lightens my planner, and I know that the stuff that I really wanted to remember are in my journal. So this has the big dates on it. So like I want to make sure that I have my appointment, I have a phone call, we had a picnic, and I had a spin-in with the guild. So I just want to make sure that those things that at a glance I can see. The weeks are like, in writing terms, they are my rough draft. So next week I want to do a channel video. I have a phone call. I was going to promote a Fiberfest that has been canceled by the way. I have an appointment. I want to pay rent on my shop booth. So these are my rough draft notes. So when I go to, like this Monday, when I go to plan my day, I look at it and say, what do I have to make sure to include on that day? And this is just a setup, and then I'll have little notes, like if I want to have something that I do during the week. Also, what I'm starting to do is I don't like to-do lists. So instead of having a whole list of bullet points or however you do them, I will say, well, okay, what day do I want to do it on? And then I'll just put on that day, write in, like what I have here, pay the booth rent. So I don't have a to-do list, but I assign things to a day. Sometimes that works out, and sometimes I have to adjust it, but that is less overwhelming for me than having a whole one. So then what I do for when I plan out my days is I have my journal. And this is the Plan a Perfect Journal. I've embellished it a little bit. And I do pre-washi and sticker them too. And I set aside this page because I will probably make a vision board for the time. So I started to plan out our anniversary trip in the beginning, in the front, and I'll leave some pages for that. But let me show you. I just finished this book up. So I will show you like what I was doing today. So I just start off, and I have that Mary Engelbreit calendar. Sometimes I use the artwork, and that's for the day. And then I do myself a little love note, like the Good Morning Beloved, like it's the Bible always calls us beloved, God does. And then I say, today is blah, 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 And then I say, I do your morning routine. Then I start the house. I have writing, my to-dos, and then whatever else I have to do in the afternoon. And something new that I started, instead of crossing things off, because to me it kind of looks ugly and it doesn't look like a journal anymore, is I take a colored pencil and I coordinate for the day, and then I color in when I'm done. And I did already start the laundry. I do have to switch it after this video, and then I have a couple more things to do. But I really like the look of the colored pencil instead of having things crossed off. Where did I have crossed off things? Well, when I'm looking for it and I'm doing a video, of course I can't find it. But you know what crossed off tasks look like. So that is how I plan my day. And it's just a very simple system. It does take attention because every night I spend a little time just writing it out. And I know I've done this enough that I know that this is a flow that works for me right now. It can change later. And I want to also keep this simple. Like, I don't really want to schedule out my cleaning. Say, this day I'm going to do the bathroom, then I'm going to clean the toilet, or do the dusting or the vacuuming. I find that's a little overwhelming sometimes. So I just do, my top 3 things is usually a business one, a home one, and a personal one. And if I have time for more, that's great. And if I don't, then I don't feel so overwhelmed from that. Because if I get overwhelmed with all my tasks, I'm going to just, burn out. So that is how I do that. And then not only do I have the days in my journal, but I journal in my journal. So let me go back to this. And I don't care, this journal can span months. This journal can span a half a month, whatever. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever I need it for. So sometimes in here, I will have, I had a dream that I wanted to write down. So I did that. I had a bunch of business cards that I wanted to remember. I had some notes, some ideas. And sometimes, here I do journal what I want to say in my videos. So it just is basically, it is kind of a keepsake and day planner. And I even found an old journal from my college days where I had started a book of quotes, and there was only 4 pages used in it. So I cut out the ones I really liked, and the journal can be reused or recycled. So that gives you an idea that this can be as much or as little as you want it to be. And I also keep a little notebook. This is in Moleskine, or however you pronounce that. It is just, I don't really like their paper quality, so this is now my list maker. And as you can see, I don't glorify this. This is just utilitarian. And it is just my grocery list. And sometimes if I need to jot a note down, I have a wish list, and I date it because, if I don't really want it in a month, then why would I buy it? So it's kind of like a holding pattern for my list. So that is that. And I showed you my mileage log that I tuck in the back. So that is what I carry with me right now. And it covers basically what I need. I do have other notebooks that I can switch in and out. but for now, that is the main basis of all I need to plan and have a good, productive life. So then, when I fully returned to this traveler's notebook about a few weeks ago, what I did, this is really not my style, but I got this on clearance at Hobby Lobby, and I, of course, thought, well, I can at least use it to store some notebooks in. But I thought, well, I'm not going to spend any money at this time going back into Traveler's Notebook until I really know what size, because I got that new purse, what's going to fit. So I just pulled this one out, and actually don't mind it. You can just clean it that well. And as I said, this is a Franken planner. It's like a leftover notebook. And, you saw this one. So it's all nothing. I spent no money on this one setting it up. In the past, I spent money, but right before, when I was setting up, I didn't go out and buy a thing, not even stickers or washi, which was, I can tell you how much stuff I have, which is another video because I'm going to start to declutter my office. So stay tuned for ideas or my process on that in the future. So this is the Traveler's Notebook, and let me know down below if you have tried one, what you think of them, and if you have any tips. I would love that because there's always so many creative ways to use these things. And I really enjoyed you coming today, and so we could spend some time together going over these wonderful ways to organize our life and our thoughts. And I hope this was helpful for you. And if it was, and if you enjoyed our time together, please like this video. And I hope you will subscribe so that we can spend more time together next time. Thank you so much, and have a joyful day. Thank you. Bye-bye.